Hey songwriters, welcome back to At-Home Songwriting. I'm Chad Shank and I'm glad that you joined me today. If this is your first time here, I am a songwriting teacher. I started At-Home Songwriting about 3 years ago. I've been teaching songwriting for over 10 years. I teach lyrics at Berklee College of Music online, and I want to help you write more professional songs at home. So today we're talking about something that all songwriters know about, but not all of us really understand it. So we're going to talk about chord progressions. So we all love a good chord progression, right? But here's the thing. Professional songwriters see them as more than just patterns of chords. These are powerful tools for telling stories and creating emotion, and professionals know this. In this video, I'm going to share 5 things that pro songwriters know about chord progressions that some newbies don't. So by the end, you'll see that your chords will be shining in a whole new light, and you'll be able to write songs that truly connect with people. And remember, we're not writing songs to impress, we're writing to communicate authentically and to communicate emotion. So let's jump in. All right, so first up, pro songwriters know how to make chord progressions match the story or the message of a song. So your chords shouldn't just sound nice, they should support what's happening in your lyrics. So think of your songs like a movie. Your lyrics and melody are the dialogue and the actors, and your chords are like the soundtrack. When all of them work together, it's magic. For example, if your lyrics are building tension, like the moment before someone says,
I love you.
you might choose chords that feel unresolved or create suspense. Then, when the moment lands and the words are said, you resolve those chords and resolve with a chord that feels like home. This approach will keep your listener emotionally invested because the chords and lyrics are speaking the same language. So the next time you sit down to write a song, ask yourself, what story am I telling? And how can my chords amplify that story? When you think this way, you're no longer just writing songs, you're creating experiences. Okay, so now let's talk about voice leading. Voice leading. Don't let that term scare you. It's simpler than it sounds. Voice leading is all about making the movement between your chords feel smooth and natural. Think of each note in a chord like a person in a choir. When you change chords, the voices in the first chord don't all leap up to random notes in the next chord. Instead, they move in small and logical steps, like walking, not jumping. For example, if one chord has a note like G and the next chord has a note like A, it's smoother if you just let that G step up to that A instead of leaping somewhere far away. This makes your chord changes feel connected and like they belong together. And when pros use voice leading, even unexpected chords sound right. The listener might not know exactly why, but they'll feel like the music is taking them somewhere more meaningful. So when you're working on your next song, think about how your chords talk to each other and let them walk, not jump. All right, so here is a game changer. This is something that professional writers know about chords that not all newbies do. And this is your bass line isn't just the lowest note in the chord, it's its own voice in the song. Think of your bass line as the foundation of a house. It's holding everything up, but it doesn't have to be boring. In fact, the bass line can be just as melodic as your vocal line, and it creates a conversation between the harmony and the melody, adding depth and texture to your songwriting. So here's the secret that pros know. A well thought out bass line can completely change how your chords feel. For example, a bass note that walks up can add excitement or momentum, while a bass note that stays steady might feel grounding and calm. So next time you're writing, don't just think of your bass as the low part. Think of it as its own melody line, one that adds richness to your song. Next up, making common chord progressions feel fresh. Let's be honest here. There's only so many chord progressions out there, but pro writers know how to take even the most overused progressions and make them sound fresh and exciting. How do they do that? Well, it's all in the details. They'll play with the rhythm of the chords so they don't hit in the same predictable way, or they'll add little surprises like passing tones or maybe a suspended chord just to keep things interesting. And here's another trick. They think about how the melody interacts with the chords. By giving the melody its own independence, even a very simple progression can feel new and unique. So the big tip here is don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel. Start with a familiar progression and then experiment with rhythm, melody, and the harmony. Small changes can make a big difference. And finally, this is the big one. Pro songwriters know that chords set the emotional tone of your song. Every chord carries a certain feeling. Major chords tend to feel happy or strong, minor chords feel introspective or sad, and more complex chords like sevenths or diminished chords, they add tension and color. But here's the thing, it's not just about choosing chords that sound good, it's about choosing chords that match the emotion that you're trying to communicate. So again, it's not just about sounding good, it's how does the chord support the emotion that you're trying to communicate. So think about what your song is trying to say. Is it hopeful? Is it longing? Is it lustful? Is it joyful? Is it sad? Then choose chords that bring that feeling to life. This is how the pros create songs that resonate deeply with their listeners. So think of it this way, your chords are more than just tools. They're your emotional palette. Use them intentionally and your songs will leave a lasting impact. Think of the chords as the colorful lights on a live theater performance. You have the actors on the stage, which is your melody. Your lyrics are the lines, and the chords are the scene. They're setting the lighting. They're setting what's happening on the stage. Think about it that way. So these are not just little music theory tips, right? They're tools meant to help you write songs that truly connect with people. And remember, it's not about impressing anyone, showing off how complicated your chord progressions are. It's about writing authentically and writing an authentic story and creating authentic emotional experiences. If this video inspired you, give it a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you're going to try first. And hey, if you're ready to dive even deeper into songwriting, join the free online community at athomesongwritingcourses.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, hit me up in the comments and I'll see you at the next live workshop.